So in this video we will be starting to install the management station, and I already have installed a Windows machine, so they will be connected on the same network. As I previously mentioned, it's not recommended to actually have the jump station within the management network. You should keep the management network clear, but because of this lab we make it easier. I have actually also made a dedicated interface on the Windows 10 machine so it can reach the internet, so we can have it all up to date, we can download software, etc, etc. It's nothing that you need to have because you can actually share disk from your workstation to your machine, but this is a way to make it more realistic if you want to do that. We will connect this to VMnet 5. As I said, I will have a dedicated interface on the Windows 10 machine to the internet on VMnet 8. Because we don't have the clusters, we don't have anything of the network in place. So when it comes to VMnet 8 to actually get internet on this, we have on the virtual network editor, I have this as host as a netted network. I have a DHCP, so it will get an IP address if I want to. As you see, I'm running VMware Workstation 17. You can of course change the networks if this doesn't fit, so you can just change it here. But we will start off by doing new virtual machine, and we will do it custom, and I will pick ESX 6.5. I'm not sure what you should actually pick here, but 6.5 is something that is supported by Checkpoint, so it just feels better. Then you will select the image that you have downloaded. So I have downloaded R81.20. So I will click open here. And just to show you, when you download images from Checkpoint, use the download wizard, upgrade the download wizard. It will be a new installation. We will do a management server. It will be in VMware. We put 6.x, Gaia, and we will doing R81.20. You will come to a fresh installation, or you will get a link to the installation file. This one didn't require me to sign in, so you can just download, and that's the name of it. You can check all the data, but that's the same file that I selected here, so R81.20. Next, then we will do CPU management as name, and then you just select where you want to have this the files for it. So VMware Lab, create a new folder, CPU management R81.20. Why didn't it select it? So next, and here you need to check like, okay, what is the minimum requirement for the machine? I believe it was 4 that is the minimum requirement. I will be using 6 cores. So I'm actually running, and I will show you. I was running an Intel Core i7 1400K. So it's 28 cores. So it's a good way to do labbing. So 6 cores, and I will be putting in 8 gigs of memory. Is that correct? Yeah, I guess so. Next, do not use network connection. We will change this. LSI logic. I'm running everything on NVMe, so it's nice and quick. Create a new disk. I will pick 300 gigs. If you're running this in production, I would recommend you to install it with 1 terabyte and then add additional disk after. I will show you why also, but we will be running it in 300 gigs. And it will place it would you like to store the disk file? Yeah, I would like to store it in the same location where I did have my VMware box. So there. Not sure why it didn't select that, but anyway. So here we need to change some things. So we will do customize hardware. So first of all, we will add a network adapter. And I will select VMnet 5 because that's what I want to have. This is the same as before, and we don't need to change anything here, I guess. Close. I want to change this operating system, but I will do finish, and I didn't select power on. So I finish. So edit the machine again. And here you have options. And here I think that we can select here. So I will select Linux 5 64 bits instead of Fedora. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I will go for it. So, and now we have the drive, and it's connected on power on. And this is important because we want it to boot from the ISO file. So power on, and yes, some warnings. I don't care about warnings. So this is the installation. So install Gaia on the system. And now I get a warning that I have more or less 2 new CPU. Hopefully this still works. I did run an AMD system before. I needed to change this AMD system to actually make this work. Because in later releases, at least for me, after like R8, more or less it worked to run AMD in lab on R8040. It started to crash for me running R81.10, and I never got it to work in R81.20. So my recommendation, if you want to run VMware Workstation as your host computer or your system, run it on an Intel CPU. It will make a lot less hassle. And this installation, it takes quite a while actually when it comes to R81.20. So the time here now is 12:48. We will check how long it actually takes before it's doing all the steps. So now we'll be getting to the first installation step. So do you want to proceed with installation? Yes, I do. And I have a Swedish keyboard. And here is what I've talked about. If you put in, let's say you put in 1 terabyte, you see already on 300 gigs, it allocates 67% for backup and upgrade. And if I put, let's say, 150 gig here, let's say I want to have a large root partition, it will not allow me. So I need to maximum have 75 gigs. So what I mean here is that start with, if you're doing this in real production, 1 terabyte is good. And then you can add additional log storage after, because then it's not stolen by this backup and upgrade partition. And this upgrade and backup partition is nothing that you can just remove. You need to have it because it's needed when you do upgrades. So we will be running this in 70 gigs. So you see here I have 37 gigs for logs and 177 gigs for backup and upgrades. I don't want to have too small root partition because you get other issues when you do upgrades as well, because you need to have free space on the root partition to be able to do upgrades. So 1 terabyte for real production is a good way to have. So after we have selected this, then just OK. And we need to select the password for the admin. And it's important to make sure to have a correct keyboard layout. So this maintenance mode admin user, this is something new that came in, I think it came in R81.20. So this is something that you can give a technician if they go on site and if they need to come into maintenance mode. So this should be a different password than your admin password. And it's something that more or less you need to give out to someone if they want to go into, I think it's called maintenance mode. So, okay. And in our lab, we will have .200 and we will have a default gateway of .1. I don't recommend you to run DHCP on the management server. And do you want to format all your drive? Yes, I do. So this is the part that can take some time. So right now the time is 12:58, and we will see how many minutes this takes before everything is done. So the installation itself, of course, takes different time depending on how fat system you have. But I mean, it's not like it's using the cores fully. I mean, I have allocated 6 cores, but it's not really using it. All right, so the time is 13:25. So the first step of the installation is now done. So we will press enter here and it will reboot. And what we will do now when it's booted is the first time wizard. So let's start our Windows 10 machine. And I don't know if you did see it, but we have VMnet 5 and VMnet 8. So VMnet 5 is directly connected to the management station itself. And this is hopefully booting. So the system can now be logged in. So let's see if we can actually reach it. So our Windows 10 machine. So we go to Google Chrome or a web browser. And we will go to the management station. So HTTPS to the IP address that you selected. And then the admin password, not the maintenance one, the admin one. And then we will come to the first time wizard. So I will zoom in a bit. So continue with the R81.20 configuration. We still have the IP address that we selected during the first initial installation. Here we need to set the name of it. We will put an DNS. And here you can select domain as well. Normally you will run an NTP, but we will just put it manual this time. And here you can select what type of device is it that you want to install. And we want to install a security management server. So the option is either to do a multi-domain server or a security management gate or a security gateway or a security management server. And you can actually have both the gateway and the management server on the same machine. This is not something that I recommend. I recommend that you have separate products. So we will deselect, so we will not have this one. And we will have this as the primary management server, because you can actually have multiple management server if you want to scale or you want to have additional redundancy. So this is the primary security management server. Next. And we still use the Gaia admin. GUI clients is what type of networks are you allowed to log in to the smart console from? So in this lab or in this start, we will put any IP address. And I would recommend that when you do initial installations, especially in labs, and you can change this after. This is no problem to change after. I normally put the network. So I would put in this management network, for example, in here. The problem within this initial one is that you can only have one selected. In the real production, you can add multiple networks if you want to. And now we will just select finish. And this will start the configuration process. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do. This step goes quite fast actually. So this takes a few minutes and then it installs all the products that we need to actually use the box. Alright, so the installation has finished and the time is now 13:35. So this was about 10 minutes the first time we started. So now we are in the Gaia Portal. So this is a place where you can change settings such as IP addresses, hostname, DNS, time. You can add some SNMP for monitoring. You can take snapshots, backups, and you can also do upgrades. But you actually don't manage like gateways and stuff from here, or the management server doesn't manage the gateways from here. So you will need to log in on the smart console. So I have installed R81.20 smart console. And we will try to log into the management station to see if everything have started. So this is the username, this is the IP address I want to go to, and then just put in the password. So it will try to connect, and then you will verify the fingerprint, proceed, and it should connect to the server. If it's not completely booted up and ready, you will get an error message. Just try a few minutes later, and it should be good to go. And we can, of course, log into the CLI of the box as well. So I have this saved here, accept. So this is the user mode within CLI. You see, it's not up and running because the processes are not done yet. We can try again, and either it will fail. Yeah, it will fail. So we will do like this. We will do expert. So the first time you go into expert, you need to set the password. So the expert password, it can be the same as the admin password, but it's not recommended. So you have three passwords. You have the maintenance password, you have the admin password, and then you have the expert password. So this is three passwords that you need to set. So set expert password, and then enter. And we get this lock database command, or you cannot do this change because we are logged in here and we are in edit mode. So we can go to release, so it's not locked. Then we can do the command. We can also do the command directly here from the CLI by just typing this lock database override and then do the command again. So I will put the password, and just to show you this. So I will enter the configuration lock. So I will do like this. So if I try to set the password here, it says configuration locked because it's owned by a different admin, or set something. But I will just do like this: lock database override. Lock. Good to spell it correct. So now I have acquired the lock, and you see that the configuration is locked. So I lock out each other, or you can lock out each other. So expert, and now I'm in expert mode. So in expert mode, it's more or less Linux. So you can do like ls. I'll show you like this. So you can do like df -h to view the disk. You can do pvd to check your directory, change directory, and then do ls to see what sort of folders. So this is Linux. If you are in user mode here, you cannot do ls or df-h. So this is user mode, or so here you can do more like show configuration. So you can see all the configuration that is already set. And if you're used to like Cisco or similar, it's not like you can type show config, because show config doesn't exist. You actually need to tab it out. So even if I do show config like this, it's not the complete command. So you need to tab it out to be able to type it. It's just a difference, so to say. So, but what did I want to check? I wanted to check more or less the processes. Has it calmed down? And we see that this box has now been open for 15 minutes. We see the uptime here. And we see that it's no CPU process that takes a lot of time. The load average go down. So we will go into more to processes later, but it should be no problem to log in now. Hopefully I did type the password correct. So you see initializing services. So it's starting the application, so we can actually go in and we can do policy changes, we can add gateways, we can more or less start to work with the Checkpoint product. So when we logged into the smart console, we can of course see that we have our management station here. We don't have any security policy because we don't have any security gateways. We haven't installed any firewalls. We don't have anything to actually connect to. We can connect it to Infinity services. We will go into that more later in a different lab, but more or less you can add additional features that Checkpoint has in the cloud. You can set and create like admins. So here we only have one that is super admin. We can add additional administrators. We can do permission profiles. Here's the trusted clients that I said that we have any host. We can of course add here. So we can add like, okay, we want to have an IPv4 range. So we can add multiple. And we can enable different things such as the management API. So this is available from the management server only. It should be this one maybe. But more or less, we haven't done something yet. Because when we talk about the recommendation, we of course need to upgrade the management server to the latest Jumbo hotfix. The management server doesn't have any internet, it doesn't have anything. So if we try to do ping 888, we get no replies. So we don't reach the default gateway. So ping 192.168.1.1, nothing is replying. So we don't have any internet, it doesn't matter. So this is why we cannot see like recommended Jumbo hotfix. This is something that we will add on later. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.